Welcome back. I'm Samantha Stone with the Marketing Advisory Network, and it's my pleasure to introduce you to Bob Collins. Bob recently joined Racepoint Global as Senior Vice President.
Great to be here, Samantha. Good to see you again.
Yes, excellent to see you again. Very glad you could make it through traffic to be here.
It is New England in the spring, yes.
Well, at least it's not in the winter.
No, which is like an endless element right there.
Exactly. Excellent. Well, one of the things I wanted to talk with you about today is the evolution of PR. I think it's changed more in the last couple of years than perhaps any other aspect of marketing.
Absolutely. I mean, it's interesting, kind of, the tenets of public relations, they're your brand ambassadors for telling your brand story. In the world where almost anything else can be replicated and to a certain degree, how you tell your story can be the most unique differentiator. And the thing I think the public relations industry has understood is that the manner to actually reach the important public, the influencers trying to go, your customers, your community, if you will, has fundamentally changed. It is no longer about influencing purely just the hearts and minds of people or over the press. You can create your own community. With today's day and age, with social and so forth, people are no longer looking to the website for information. They're no longer looking per se to the top analysts and the top media. They're looking for their own peers to see where what trends people are looking for, how are they solving particular business problems across the board. So it is truly fundamentally shifted. 80% of all major buying decisions right now are happening without ever touching one part of your website, because they're looking for across the board to where they're actually wanting to get the information from in different networks and the cohorts.
That's incredible to me. And one of the things that I talk to a lot of people who are building their content strategies, and one of the things they're confused about, they understand they need to use content, but they're not quite sure who should be doing what types of things. What role should PR professionals play in our content generation?
Well, I want to back up a little bit. I think there's an element you can sit back and go, what role does the public relations arena play within telling that story and creating that content? But many organizations tend to have their marketing groups, their public relations and communications teams. Then there's kind of the direct marketing groups. Then there's the digital brand experience groups. And if you have different groups who have different disciplines and different audiences, it's important to have. But if those if you're relying just on those different departments to do different experiences without ever taking into consideration a knowledge of how that customer you're trying to go after, it's just better service them and better support them. At the heart of it, they don't care about your omni-channel strategy. No one's going, it's so different over here than different over there. What they do is it's how they experience, and they're going to come at you in different parts of that chain. So, but from a back to your particular question, the public relation is, one thing about PR has done well is they've always had to create interesting stories to actually influence their core groups. Now they're creating those influential stories to actually create content. And I think PR does a really good job of saying it's not the story about the company, it's the story about the customer and the pain point and the needs of the customer and the value that the transformation that's happening within that industry and the story to tell that story and to bring that out there. And they're doing it with all kinds of great content.
I think you make a hugely important statement, which is we have to break down the silos of having different aspects of marketing. And when it comes to content strategy, content development, whether it's PR or anything else, we've got to share a lot of love together. And that's really what will get us to effective content marketing.
It's truly integrated. And if you're not doing the integrated, you're working in silos and speaking to separate audiences. And that's a complete missed opportunity.
Thank you so much for coming in and sharing your thoughts about the role that PR plays. We really enjoyed having you here today.
It's great to be here.
Excellent.
Good to see you all.